Now we will see how 1 year later will look like for Swordman. We are looking at the China server right now. These are some of the top ranked Swordmen, and we'll take a look at the first one. He's about 11 million CP right now. Okay, we'll take a look at his overall gears. At this stage, you should be able to wear about grade 13, grade 12 to grade 13 equipments, and he should be a space whale. That's why he's having all his excellence equipments awakened. Okay, they are all red over here. At this stage, at about grade 13, you are looking at better options, attributes that your equipments will have. For example, this is the general equipment stats that you can have every time you upgrade your equipments. So these are how level 14 looks like. You will have extra PvP damage and stuff. All the boss, even the boss damage increase is about 12% at level 12. So keep on increasing your equipments if you can. These stats over here are the awaken additional stats. Okay, every level that you awaken, you will add on. Okay, at this stage, this guy is having about awaken level 4 to awaken level 5. Therefore, he's having extra damages and even PvP damage add-on plus skill damage add-on. And he's wearing Hui Huang Brilliant set. Okay, we will cover up more on excellent set in the future in depth one. We will move on to his gemstones. These are the general gemstones that are specific. That are specific to your equipments. Okay, for the red one, usually there are 3 types you can choose from. Basically, the main one that you can always get are the equipment CP modification stat one. The rest includes damage increase and also PvP damage increase. Okay, these are gotten from other methods. And at this stage, like for example level 14, okay, the stones is giving about 5% attack increase, right? Then 11 at grade 11 redstone, you are looking at 3.5% damage increase. So that's why I say it's important to increase your gemstones, and important to keep the gemstone knife for you to upgrade from level 5 and above. Okay, so probably you take a look at the blue stones. Blue stones, okay, 3 of your equipments will be wearing blue stones. Blue stones are your defense stones. As usual, there are 3 types, but usually depending on your luck to get the other 3 types. The common one will be your equipment CP modifications over here, like all his equipment's CP modifications stats. Okay, and you are looking at probably at the highest one here, level 11. You are looking at a defense increase of 3.5% per gemstone. Okay, 3.5% per gemstone. Okay, 3 equipments, you are looking at about 6 of them, so you do the math, okay, yourself. Same for HP. 3 of your gears will be using the green HP stones. Okay, HP also has 3 types, but most of the time the one you can get are your equipment's modification stats type. Okay, and for this, for example, you're looking at level 9 yellow one, you have 2.5% HP increase. Since for the same for the orange one, 2.5 HP increment per stone. Okay, then for the accessories, the rest are about the same stuff that we have covered. Accessories uses yellow stones. Yellow stones has also 3 types of differences over here. Okay, one, for example, this 狙击征服is your pursuit damage. Okay, the other one will be 卓越征服, means this is your excellence or superior strike. Okay, then the generic one will be your equipment CP modification stat. Okay, let's take a look. For example, at level 11 yellow stones, okay, if the yellow 11 grade 11 stone gives additional damage of 3.5% per stone. Okay, level 10 3%. Okay, this goes in conjunctions with your weapon's redstones. Okay, they both add attack damage. So then the higher you go, the more attack in percent. Okay, attack damage in percentage you will have. Then we will move on to the elemental stones. Okay, like I said before, for fighter, usually we use wind. Okay, for knight we will be using earthstone. Okay, by taking a look at this green color is the windstone. Okay, stating that this guy is focusing on his fighter build. Okay, fighter uses wind. Okay, so at his elemental stone at level 9, he has an additional 4.5% wind element damage, okay, to his character. So you are looking about roughly 6 stones or so for a character itself. When the max you can open a 6 stone, say 4.5 per stones. Okay, 6, 12, 4.5 for 12 stones. Okay, you do the math, you know how much can you increase for your elemental damage. And for accessories, it's the same. Okay, the accessories and the weapons, you can put in offensive elemental stones. Okay, for this purple one at level 7, it's 1%. Okay, 1%, 6 of them is already 6%. You have 3, you have about 18% elemental increase. Okay, so my suggestion is, if you are using Swordman and you want to go long, and Swordman is a class that you can go for long term, okay, do focus on your wind element stones. Okay, if you are not intending to change at all, okay, it's quite good. Okay, Swordman is quite good. It's it can last for a long time. Okay, that's why this guy focused totally on his wind power. But what about the elemental defense? Okay, let's see what he has put in for his elemental defense stones. All the stones that are placed inside your armors, from the helmet to the boots itself, right? They are all considered defensive elemental stone. Defensive elemental stone. From what I know, this guy kind of focus on putting one type per equipment. Okay, so for his helm itself, right, he has placed in wind elemental defense. Okay, wind elemental defense. What does your usual elemental defense stone adds? Okay, first it adds on the number of defense in numerical number. Then it adds on extra HP. Okay, like level 7 you have additional 7,000 HP. So you times 6, you have that amount of HP given from the stones itself. Then elemental wind elemental defense in percentage. At level 7 you are looking at about 3.5. Okay, 3.5 per stone. Okay. Then for his armor, he plays in water. Okay, water, it's for forbidden mage and ranger. Okay, so he's putting this in case he meet up with a forbidden mage or ranger, for example. He still has the defense itself. You see, at least 3.5% defense against these two types of classes. Then for his belt itself, this is the belt. He uses Hei Ying. Hei Ying is darkness. Darkness probably is referring to the magic gladiator. Okay, magic gladiator, he focus one armor itself purely for the magic gladiator defense against magic gladiator elemental. Okay, for his pants, he uses ground elemental stone. Ground elemental stones probably is for the knights and the holy archer. Okay, so he's quite a all-rounder in defense, also as a fighter. Same for his gauntlet. Okay, gauntlet is a fire elements is mainly only for the Magister, okay, the Fire Mage. So he has one whole gunlet dedicated to fire elemental defense. Then for his boots are the light stone. Light stone, I'm guessing, is either for summoner or the Grow Lancer. Okay, so he has also dedicated his whole boots for this location. Okay, what I can suggest to you is that you build your defense, elemental defense, accordingly to your server's style. Okay, let's say if you realize that your servers has a lot of MG in future, so you put more darkness defense stone. Okay, let's say if you are able to open up in the beginner game where before MGs comes out, okay, usually there will be like fighter or knight or the mage itself. So I will suggest that you try to put a equal amount for 3 of the characters, 6 subclasses. Okay, but in future, when people just move on, and the strongest one will usually be using like summoner, lancer, and MG, so you just change accordingly. My suggestion is try not to stick to one elemental itself, or you use the same elemental for a long time. Okay, because people change their subclasses, their classes, they also change. Okay, so move with them and you will find the game will be easier for you to play. Then we look at the artifacts. Okay, usually we start the artifacts with about 1 or 2. Okay, so about 1 year later, these are the amount that they are able to use. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 stuff. Okay, mostly they adds to your PvP characteristics, like skill damage decrease. Yeah, mostly skill damage decrease or superior excellent strike damage decrease. Even PvP, increasing your PvP characteristics. Okay, so these are the artifacts stuff that you'll be able to see. For wings, okay, we start off with about 1 wings, then you will gradually open up to 12 wings after about a year. 15 types of plumes that you can choose from. So basically, just save up whatever you have got and clear the blue ones away. You know, at first it might be difficult situations to decide what to choose from the 15 types of plumes that are available, because we have only like a few sets of wings to start with. But 1 year later, you have about 12 wings. Okay, 12 wings with 12 set of plumes that you can use. So 15 types of plumes to choose from, 12 wings available. So in other words, you basically can put 1 type of plumes per wing. Okay, so you don't have to trouble and think too much. There's only 3 that you do not want to use. You can't use also. Okay, who knows? In another 6 months or 1 year, you have another 5 more wings, for example. So you can put the rest of the plumes in. Okay. We will then take a look at his Archangel weapon. I'm sure those who P2P will be interested to see. He is not the top wheeler, okay? So his Archangels is only at 2 stars, and it's not easy to rise to 2 stars, okay? And there will be a heavy cap at 3rd star. Okay, anything after 3rd star will be like twice or 3 times the amount needed compared to the original 1st, 2nd, and 3rd stars. Okay, so usually people start at 2 to 3 star for a while. Unless you are a super space wheel, you can hit up to 5 stars. So to sum up, Swordman has 2 subclasses. Okay, the fighter and the knight. Both can wear dual sword, okay, and sword and shield. He's so durable that can use him from early to the late game. Okay, in the first subclass, the fighter is an all-rounder. Okay, like this guy over here. He has the highest damage in the class. He has a lot of damage increase and bleeding ability. And the other subclass, the knight, has the highest defense of all the classes. Okay, all the classes. He has a lot of damage reductions and defense mechanism that triggers whenever he receives any damages. He is very good for mass PvP events, okay, like Castle Siege and stuff. Here's some 2 tips for you guys. Okay, to change within the subclass or to reset your talent setting, do remember to use your subclass transfer card, okay, from the shop itself. That costs only 500,000 gold coins. Okay, and there is no excellent double-handed sword in the game. Okay, that's why people all use single-handed weapons or shield. Do let me know which subclass you will be choosing between the fighter and the knight below in the comments. Hope to hear from you guys soon. I hope this helped. Thank you and goodbye.